Lily is a 68-year-old retired school librarian who spent her life surrounded by books and curious minds. She's known among her family and friends for her warm smile and gentle spirit, always ready to lend an ear or a comforting word. But recently, something changed in Lily's world, a change she hadn't expected and one that shook her quietly to the core. It began with subtle signs, a persistent fatigue she couldn't explain, a heaviness in her legs that grew day by day, and moments when her mind seemed foggy, forgetting simple things she used to know by heart. At first, she brushed it off as just part of getting older, something everyone had to face. Yet, the small aches and discomforts slowly piled up, and one morning, after a short walk in the garden left her breathless and unsteady, Lily knew it was time to see her doctor. The diagnosis was not shocking in words, but heavy in weight. Her circulation was weakening, and the strain on her body was quietly building into a real threat. The doctor's gentle tone masked the seriousness of what lay ahead, but Lily felt a wave of fear wash over her. She remembered her mother's frail final years, the loss of independence, and the loneliness that came with it. Could this be her path too? The thought made her heart ache more than the physical symptoms. That day, sitting quietly in the sterile clinic room, Lily made a silent promise to herself. She would do everything she could to change her story, to reclaim her strength and vitality before it slipped away. What followed was not a sudden transformation, but a gradual awakening. Lily began to observe her daily habits with new eyes, questioning things she had never given thought to before, like the simple meals she reheated each day or the little rituals she took for granted. She discovered, with growing curiosity, that some of her favorite leftovers might be doing more harm than good. The idea that something as ordinary as reheated food could affect her heart, her mind, and her legs felt surprising, even unsettling. But Lily, ever the learner, embraced this knowledge as a key to unlocking a healthier life. She started to explore which foods could actually support her aging body when warmed properly, and which ones she needed to avoid or prepare differently. This journey was never about quick fixes or dramatic diets. It was about small, loving changes that honored her body's needs. Each morning, she welcomed a warm bowl of oatmeal, savoring not just its comforting taste, but the steady energy it gave her through the day. She learned to appreciate the nourishing power of homemade vegetable soups, simmered slowly and carefully, reheated to preserve their healing qualities. Brown rice, once a humble staple, became a quiet champion for her digestion and heart health. These meals weren't just food, they were acts of kindness to herself, moments of care that filled her not only with nutrients, but with hope and resilience. Yet, Lily's story also carried warnings, gentle reminders to be mindful and cautious. Mushrooms, a once beloved ingredient, revealed their hidden risks when reheated improperly, causing discomfort and potential harm to sensitive digestion. Eggs, which had always been a source of strength, now demanded respect for their delicate nature after cooking, pushing Lily to enjoy them fresh and avoid reheating. Even white potatoes, a nostalgic comfort food, showed a darker side when warmed again, triggering subtle fatigue and inflammation that threatened her stability. With each lesson, Lily felt a deeper connection to her body and the wisdom it whispered through these signals. More than anything, this experience reshaped how Lily viewed aging, not as a decline, but as a chapter rich with possibility and self-discovery. She found strength in slowing down, in listening carefully to what her body needed, and in choosing warmth, nourishment, and intention with every meal. The kitchen, once a place of routine, became a sanctuary where she celebrated life's small pleasures and honored her journey. Through these changes, Lily's energy returned, her steps grew steadier, and her mind sharpened. She realized that aging well wasn't about avoiding the inevitable, but embracing it with grace, knowledge, and love. Now, as she shares her story with those she cares about, Lily hopes to inspire others walking a similar path. Her journey is a reminder that even in the quiet moments, like reheating a meal or sipping a warm bowl of soup, there is power to protect health and nurture independence. It's a story of hope for anyone who fears the loss of vitality but longs to live fully on their own terms. Lily's choice to listen, learn, and act gently every day shows us all that the right foods, prepared with care, can be a source of healing and strength long into our golden years. Lily is a 68-year-old retired school librarian who spent her life surrounded by books and curious minds. She's known among her family and friends for her warm smile and gentle spirit, always ready to lend an ear or a comforting word. But recently, something changed in Lily's world, a change she hadn't expected and one that shook her quietly to the core. It began with subtle signs, a persistent fatigue she couldn't explain, a heaviness in her legs that grew day by day, and moments when her mind seemed foggy, forgetting simple things she used to know by heart. At first, she brushed it off as just part of getting older, something everyone had to face. Yet, the small aches and discomforts slowly piled up, and one morning, after a short walk in the garden left her breathless and unsteady, Lily knew it was time to see her doctor. The diagnosis was not shocking in words, but heavy in weight. Her circulation was weakening, and the strain on her body was quietly building into a real threat. The doctor's gentle tone masked the seriousness of what lay ahead, but Lily felt a wave of fear wash over her. She remembered her mother's frail final years, the loss of independence, and the loneliness that came with it. Could this be her path too? The thought made her heart ache more than the physical symptoms. That day, sitting quietly in the sterile clinic room, Lily made a silent promise to herself. She would do everything she could to change her story, to reclaim her strength and vitality before it slipped away. What followed was not a sudden transformation, but a gradual awakening. Lily began to observe her daily habits with new eyes, questioning things she had never given thought to before, like the simple meals she reheated each day or the little rituals she took for granted. She discovered with growing curiosity that some of her favorite leftovers might be doing more harm than good. The idea that something as ordinary as reheated food could affect her heart, her mind, and her legs felt surprising, even unsettling. But Lily, ever the learner, embraced this knowledge as a key to unlocking a healthier life. She started to explore which foods could actually support her aging body when warmed properly, and which ones she needed to avoid or prepare differently. This journey was never about quick fixes or dramatic diets. It was about small, loving changes that honored her body's needs. Each morning, she welcomed a warm bowl of oatmeal, savoring not just its comforting taste, but the steady energy it gave her through the day. She learned to appreciate the nourishing power of homemade vegetable soups, simmered slowly and carefully reheated to preserve their healing qualities. Brown rice, once a humble staple, became a quiet champion for her digestion and heart health. These meals weren't just food, they were acts of kindness to herself, moments of care that filled her not only with nutrients, but with hope and resilience. Yet Lily's story also carried warnings, gentle reminders to be mindful and cautious. Mushrooms, a once beloved ingredient, revealed their hidden risks when reheated improperly, causing discomfort and potential harm to sensitive digestion. Eggs, which had always been a source of strength, now demanded respect for their delicate nature after cooking, pushing Lily to enjoy them fresh and avoid reheating. Even white potatoes, a nostalgic comfort food, showed a darker side when warmed again, triggering subtle fatigue and inflammation that threatened her stability. With each lesson, Lily felt a deeper connection to her body and the wisdom it whispered through these signals. More than anything, this experience reshaped how Lily viewed aging, not as a decline, but as a chapter rich with possibility and self-discovery. She found strength in slowing down, in listening carefully to what her body needed, and in choosing warmth, nourishment, and intention with every meal. The kitchen, once a place of routine, became a sanctuary where she celebrated life's small pleasures and honored her journey. Through these changes, Lily's energy returned, her steps grew steadier, and her mind sharpened. She realized that aging well wasn't about avoiding the inevitable, but embracing it with grace, knowledge, and love. Now, as she shares her story with those she cares about, Lily hopes to inspire others walking a similar path. Her journey is a reminder that even in the quiet moments, like reheating a meal or sipping a warm bowl of soup, there is power to protect health and nurture independence. It's a story of hope for anyone who fears the loss of vitality but longs to live fully on their own terms. Lily's choice to listen, learn, and act gently every day shows us all that the right foods, prepared with care, can be a source of healing and strength long into our golden years. Lily had never thought much about the small details of her meals. After a long day, the routine of reheating leftovers was simply part of life, convenient, quick, familiar. But when her body started sending subtle warnings, she began to see those everyday moments in a new light. The fatigue that once felt like a passing cloud began to settle in more heavily, and the heaviness in her legs grew harder to ignore. One afternoon, after reheating a plate of food she'd cooked days before, Lily felt a sudden wave of discomfort. It wasn't dramatic, but it lingered, a dull ache, a sluggishness she couldn't explain. It was this moment that planted a seed of doubt about her usual habits. As she sat quietly reflecting, Lily realized that her routine, the very thing that saved her time and effort, might be quietly working against her. She remembered her doctor's words about circulation and digestion, how they affected her energy, her memory, even her balance. Could her meals be part of this unseen problem? The thought felt unsettling, yet oddly empowering. If something as simple as the way she warmed her food could change how she felt, then maybe she held more control over her health than she'd imagined. Determined to understand more, Lily began researching, reading quietly late into the night. She discovered stories of others like her who faced similar challenges, and how certain reheated foods could lose nutrients or even produce compounds that strain the body. But what caught her attention most was the gentle advice of a doctor, someone who spoke not with fear but with warmth, encouraging seniors to pay attention to which foods to reheat and which to avoid. The idea that not all leftovers were created equal gave Lily hope. There was a way forward, a way to reclaim her strength with mindful choices. With this new perspective, Lily started small. She looked at the meals waiting in her fridge with fresh eyes. Some dishes, she learned, could actually become better with gentle reheating, offering steady energy and comfort. Others, though loved and trusted, might quietly sabotage her progress if warmed the wrong way. This delicate balance between nourishment and caution became a new rhythm for Lily, one that slowly shifted her habits and, over time, her well-being. The journey had begun, not with drastic changes, but with a simple awakening to the quiet power of food and care. Lily had never thought much about the small details of her meals. After a long day, the routine of reheating leftovers was simply part of life, convenient, quick, familiar. But when her body started sending subtle warnings, she began to see those everyday moments in a new light. The fatigue that once felt like a passing cloud began to settle in more heavily, and the heaviness in her legs grew harder to ignore. One afternoon, after reheating a plate of food she'd cooked days before, Lily felt a sudden wave of discomfort. It wasn't dramatic, but it lingered, a dull ache, a sluggishness she couldn't explain. It was this moment that planted a seed of doubt about her usual habits. As she sat quietly reflecting, Lily realized that her routine, the very thing that saved her time and effort, might be quietly working against her. She remembered her doctor's words about circulation and digestion, how they affected her energy, her memory, even her balance. Could her meals be part of this unseen problem? The thought felt unsettling, yet oddly empowering. If something as simple as the way she warmed her food could change how she felt, then maybe she held more control over her health than she'd imagined. Determined to understand more, Lily began researching, reading quietly late into the night. She discovered stories of others like her who faced similar challenges, and how certain reheated foods could lose nutrients or even produce compounds that strain the body. But what caught her attention most was the gentle advice of a doctor, someone who spoke not with fear, but with warmth, encouraging seniors to pay attention to which foods to reheat and which to avoid. The idea that not all leftovers were created equal gave Lily hope. There was a way forward, a way to reclaim her strength with mindful choices. With this new perspective, Lily started small. She looked at the meals waiting in her fridge with fresh eyes. Some dishes, she learned, could actually become better with gentle reheating, offering steady energy and comfort. Others, though loved and trusted, might quietly sabotage her progress if warmed the wrong way. This delicate balance between nourishment and caution became a new rhythm for Lily, one that slowly shifted her habits and, over time, her well-being. The journey had begun, not with drastic changes, but with a simple awakening to the quiet power of food and care. Her family noticed the change too. Her daughter, Anna, called one evening with concern after Lily mentioned her discomfort. "Mom, maybe it's time to look at what you're eating and how you're heating it," Anna said gently. "Sometimes those little things can make a big difference." The conversation stayed with Lily. It reminded her that caring for herself wasn't just about medicines or doctor's visits, but about the choices she made every day. She decided to take Anna's advice seriously. Lily also remembered her own mother, who had struggled with arthritis and memory loss in her later years. Those memories sparked a new determination. She didn't want to follow that same path if she could help it. The idea that food could be both a source of healing and harm felt profound. She realized that aging gracefully was not about avoiding change, but embracing the wisdom to make better choices. Slowly, Lily began to experiment in her kitchen. She learned to prepare meals in ways that preserved their nutrients and carefully reheated those that needed warmth without damaging their goodness. The simple act of choosing which foods to reheat became a meaningful ritual, one that connected her to her health in a deeper way. She felt a renewed sense of control, as if each warm meal was a small victory against the challenges of aging. This first step, this quiet awakening to the dangers and benefits of reheating food, was the foundation of her journey. It wasn't always easy. Old habits die hard, and sometimes the convenience of the microwave beckoned. But every time she hesitated before warming a plate, Lily thought of her promise to herself. She pictured the vibrant life she wanted to live, full of energy, clarity, and independence. That image gave her strength. Through this process, Lily's understanding grew beyond just food. She began paying attention to her body's signals more attentively, the subtle shifts in energy, mood, and balance. She noticed how the right meals gave her steady strength and how certain leftovers left her feeling sluggish or uncomfortable. This mindful listening became a source of empowerment, a way to nurture not only her body but her spirit. Looking back, Lily realized that her journey had started with a simple discomfort, a quiet ache after reheating food. But from that small moment blossomed a profound transformation, a deeper relationship with herself and her health. It was a reminder that sometimes the most ordinary parts of life hold the greatest lessons, and that with care, curiosity, and kindness, even the simplest choices can shape a healthier, fuller life. After Lily's awakening about the hidden effects of reheated food, she found herself drawn to the idea that some foods, when warmed properly, could actually become more nourishing. Among them, oatmeal caught her attention early on. It wasn't a new food for her, she'd eaten it occasionally, but she had never thought about how reheating oatmeal might support her body differently than other leftovers. Curious and hopeful, Lily decided to make oatmeal her new morning ritual, a gentle start to her day filled with warmth and care. One chilly morning, Lily prepared a simple bowl of oatmeal, stirring it slowly on the stove instead of just zapping it in the microwave. As the oats softened and the comforting aroma filled her kitchen, she felt a quiet sense of calm wash over her. This was no longer just a breakfast, it was a moment of kindness toward herself. The gentle heat seemed to unlock something more than just flavor. It was as if this humble bowl was waking up her body's need for steady energy and gentle nourishment. She soon learned from her readings that when oatmeal is cooked and then cooled, it forms a special kind of starch called resistant starch. Unlike ordinary starch that quickly raises blood sugar, this resistant starch travels to the gut, feeding the friendly bacteria that support digestion and inflammation control. Reheating oatmeal carefully preserves these benefits, giving Lily's aging digestive system a break and steady energy throughout the day. This small discovery felt like a secret gift, something science had quietly tucked inside her breakfast bowl. Lily started adding little touches to her oatmeal, cinnamon for warmth and flavor, chopped walnuts for a satisfying crunch, and fresh blueberries bursting with antioxidants. Each addition wasn't just about taste, it was a way to nurture her heart, support her memory, and ease the aches that sometimes crept into her joints. The ritual of preparing and eating oatmeal became a sacred time, a pause from the busy world to honor her health and hopes. Her family noticed the change too. One morning, Anna called while Lily was finishing breakfast. "Mom, you sound different today. More awake, more alive," Anna said with a smile. "I'm glad you found something that makes you feel good." That simple compliment warmed Lily's heart. It reminded her that small changes ripple outward, touching not only her body but her connections with those she loved. As the weeks passed, Lily found that mornings with oatmeal set the tone for her entire day. The steady energy helped her avoid the crashes and cravings she once experienced after heavier, less thoughtful breakfasts. Her mood brightened, and even her focus seemed sharper during her daily reading and quiet moments of reflection. This bowl of warmth was more than food. It was a daily affirmation that she still cared, still chose life. This new habit also changed how Lily viewed the process of aging. Instead of fearing the gradual changes in her body, she embraced them as signals, guides pointing her toward gentler, smarter choices. The way oatmeal supported her digestion and blood sugar gave her confidence that she could influence her health one meal at a time. It was no longer a battle against time, but a conversation with herself, a gentle dialogue filled with respect and patience. In those early morning moments, Lily felt a quiet strength growing inside her, a strength rooted in nourishment, intention, and self-love. Oatmeal, once a simple comfort food, had become a cornerstone of her journey, a symbol of hope and renewal. She looked forward to those mornings not just for the taste, but for the promise each spoonful carried, that she could face the day with energy, clarity, and grace. Lily's story with oatmeal teaches us that sometimes the smallest rituals can hold the greatest power. It reminds us that caring for ourselves in simple, consistent ways can transform our lives profoundly. And it offers a gentle invitation to warm not just our food, but our hearts with intention, kindness, and a deep respect for the body that carries us through every day. As Lily's mornings grew stronger with her new oatmeal ritual, she discovered that nourishing her body wasn't just about breakfast. The afternoons, often quieter and slower, held their own challenges. There were moments when fatigue crept in again and the chill of the changing seasons made her joints ache a little more. It was during one of these afternoons that Lily found solace in a humble bowl of vegetable soup, a dish that soon became her favorite companion in the journey toward healing. Lily's vegetable soup was not just any soup. It was made with care, slowly simmered with fresh carrots, celery, onions, leafy greens, and sweet potatoes. Ingredients chosen not just for flavor, but for their gentle healing qualities. When reheated carefully, this soup offered her a soothing warmth that seemed to wrap around her from the inside out. The broth, rich with minerals and antioxidants released during the slow cooking, nourished her immune system and helped ease the stiffness in her joints. She recalled a conversation with her doctor, who explained that homemade vegetable soups could be more nutritious the next day. As the soup rested, its cell walls broke down, releasing more healing compounds that weren't fully available at first cooking. This natural process gave Lily hope. In a world full of quick fixes and processed meals, here was something simple and profound, food that grew stronger with time, just like the resilience she sought in herself. Lily loved how the soup felt light yet filling. On days when her appetite waned, a common struggle for many seniors, it was easy to eat and didn't overwhelm her senses. The warmth opened her blood vessels gently, improving circulation and easing cold fingers and toes that sometimes reminded her of the years passing by. Adding herbs like garlic and turmeric not only boosted flavor but provided natural anti-inflammatory effects, quietly calming her body with every spoonful. There was also an emotional comfort in the ritual of reheating and savoring the soup. It reminded Lily of her childhood kitchen, of family gatherings, and the gentle rhythm of days spent caring for one another. In each steaming bowl, she felt connected to those memories and to the present moment, a sacred pause that nourished both body and soul. Her family noticed the difference too. Her grandson Tim once joked, "Grandma, your soup smells like a hug." It made Lily smile, realizing that this simple meal was a bridge between generations, a way to share love and care even when words were few. The soup became more than nourishment. It became a symbol of her determination to protect her health and cherish the life she still wanted to enjoy fully. With every reheated bowl, Lily felt a little stronger, a little more hopeful. She knew aging would bring its challenges, but she also knew she held tools to face them: warmth, nourishment, and a mindful approach to care. The healing power of vegetable soup wasn't just in the nutrients, but in the intention and love that went into every preparation and every bite. Through this new habit, Lily discovered that care doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's as simple as choosing to simmer a pot of soup slowly, letting nature work its magic, and then honoring that process by warming it gently when the time comes. It was a lesson in patience and presence, one that mirrored the grace she sought to bring to her own life. Lily's story with vegetable soup invites us to slow down and find strength in simplicity. It shows us that healing can be found in the quiet moments, in the gentle warmth of a meal made with care. And it reminds us that as we age, the food we eat and how we prepare it can be a powerful act of kindness toward ourselves, a daily step toward resilience and joy. As the days passed and Lily continued to explore the delicate art of nourishing her aging body, she discovered another quiet hero of her kitchen: brown rice, It wasn't a flashy or glamorous food, but it offered something steady and grounding, something Lily realized she needed more than ever. The humble grain soon became a symbol of strength, stability, and gentle care, just like the steady rhythm she was building in her life. Lily had always enjoyed rice as a staple in her meals, but she hadn't paid much attention to the difference between white and brown rice. When she learned that brown rice retained its bran and germ layers, rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals, she felt curious to try it more often. What fascinated her most was the way brown rice transformed when cooked, cooled, and then reheated properly. This process formed what's called resistant starch, a gentle carbohydrate that didn't overwhelm her digestion, but fed the good bacteria in her gut instead. Her doctor explained that this slow-burning energy was especially helpful for seniors. It meant steadier blood sugar levels, less fatigue, and more sustained vitality throughout the day. For Lily, who managed mild blood pressure issues and occasional sluggish digestion, this was a revelation. Brown rice wasn't just food, it was medicine she could prepare with her own hands, a simple way to support her heart, nerves, and muscles. She began incorporating brown rice into her meals regularly, mixing it with soft vegetables or a drizzle of olive oil for flavor and ease of chewing. The process of gently reheating the rice, steaming it with care, became a mindful ritual. Lily noticed how each warm serving seemed to calm her restless legs at night and provide a comforting foundation for her daily activities. It was as if the rice whispered a quiet promise of strength and steadiness. Family dinners took on a new warmth as well. Anna remarked on how much more energetic Lily seemed after meals, and her grandchildren enjoyed the colorful plates she prepared. Brown rice, once overlooked, was now a star ingredient, carrying with it the story of resilience and care that Lily was weaving into her life. This simple grain taught Lily an important lesson about aging gracefully. It wasn't about chasing quick fixes or dramatic changes, but about embracing the steady, nourishing habits that supported her body's needs day by day. The way brown rice adapted to her kitchen, providing balance and energy, mirrored her own journey toward balance between rest and activity, caution and joy. Lily's relationship with brown rice also deepened her appreciation for food's role beyond sustenance. It was a reminder that every meal was an opportunity to honor herself, to choose foods that strengthened her from within. The warmth of reheated brown rice became a daily comfort, a small but powerful act of self-respect. Through this experience, Lily understood that strength often lies in the simple and steady. Brown rice, quietly nourishing and reliable, became her ally, a foundation she could count on as she faced the challenges and joys of growing older. It was a reminder that sometimes the most unassuming choices hold the greatest power to support life, health, and happiness. As Lily grew more confident in her kitchen habits, learning which foods could nourish and which might quietly harm, she encountered a surprising challenge with a once favorite ingredient, mushrooms. For years, mushrooms had been a comforting part of her meals, earthy, flavorful, and familiar. But as she delved deeper into her journey of mindful eating, she discovered that reheating cooked mushrooms could pose hidden risks, especially for someone like her with a sensitive digestion. It began on an evening when Lily reheated a leftover mushroom stew in her microwave. Shortly after eating, she felt a subtle discomfort, an unsettled feeling in her stomach, mild bloating, and an overall sense of unease that lingered longer than usual. At first, she dismissed it as just an off day, but the pattern repeated whenever she warmed mushrooms again. This puzzling connection prompted Lily to investigate further. What she learned was eye-opening. Mushrooms contain delicate proteins and amino acids that, when freshly cooked, are easy to digest and beneficial. However, when mushrooms are cooled and then reheated, those proteins can change in ways that make digestion more difficult. For seniors whose digestive enzymes may be less robust, this change can lead to discomfort like bloating, nausea, or sluggishness. Worse yet, improper storage or reheating can allow harmful bacteria to grow quietly, posing risks to the nervous system and immune health over time. This knowledge was sobering for Lily. Mushrooms had always been part of her healthy diet, but now she realized the importance of handling them with extra care. She decided to enjoy mushrooms fresh, avoiding reheating them altogether. It wasn't a loss, but rather a new way of respecting her body's signals and limitations. She found that this simple adjustment reduced her digestive discomfort and gave her more peace of mind. Lily's family also supported her new caution. Her daughter Anna helped by preparing fresh mushroom dishes during visits, ensuring Lily could enjoy them safely without reheating. This collaborative approach brought the family closer and reinforced the importance of adapting meals to support health. It was a reminder that aging gracefully involves both learning and leaning on those we love. Through this experience, Lily came to appreciate that not every food, no matter how healthy it seems, is suitable for every stage of life in the same way. The act of reheating, often taken for granted, could change the nature of food profoundly. She learned to listen more carefully to how her body responded to each meal, adjusting her habits with kindness and patience. Mushrooms, once a trusted favorite, taught Lily a valuable lesson in caution and care. They reminded her that the journey to health is ongoing and requires attention to details both big and small. It wasn't about restriction, but about making informed choices that honored her well-being. This lesson deepened her resolve to continue exploring and adapting her diet, always with the goal of nurturing strength, comfort, and joy. In the end, Lily's experience with mushrooms became a symbol of her mindful approach to aging, one marked by awareness, flexibility, and a gentle respect for her body's changing needs. It was a quiet victory in her broader journey, one spoonful at a time. Lily had always thought of eggs as a reliable source of nourishment, a simple, wholesome food she could count on for breakfast or a quick snack. For decades, eggs had been a symbol of balance and strength in her family's kitchen, offering protein, vitamin D, and nutrients essential for brain and bone health. But as Lily's journey of mindful eating deepened, she encountered a surprising truth about eggs, one that challenged her long-held habits and invited her to rethink how she enjoyed this familiar favorite. One day, after reheating scrambled eggs she had cooked the night before, Lily noticed an uncomfortable heaviness in her stomach. The eggs, once fluffy and light, now seemed dense and harder to digest. This sensation wasn't fleeting, it lingered, leaving her feeling sluggish and bloated. Puzzled and a little concerned, Lily remembered the advice she had read from experts warning that reheating eggs, especially in a microwave or at high heat, could change their proteins and fats in ways that might not be kind to an aging digestive system. Her doctor had explained that when eggs are first cooked, their proteins unfold and become easier to digest. But if eggs cool and are then reheated, those proteins can harden again, making digestion more difficult and sometimes causing discomfort, bloating, or indigestion. Worse, reheating fried or scrambled eggs with oils and fats can cause oxidation, creating substances that may increase inflammation and harm arteries, risks that become more relevant as we age, especially for seniors managing cholesterol or heart conditions. This information gave Lily pause. Eggs had always been a comforting part of her diet, but now she understood that warming leftovers was not always harmless. She began to appreciate the value of eating eggs freshly cooked and with care, boiled or poached, gently prepared and enjoyed right away. It was a small but important shift, one that helped her avoid unnecessary strain on her digestive system and reduce inflammation, quietly undermining her vitality. Lily also found new joy in experimenting with fresh egg dishes. She learned to savor a softly boiled egg alongside whole grain toast or a fresh salad, appreciating not just the taste but the nourishment and ease it brought to her body. These meals felt lighter and more satisfying, fueling her mornings without discomfort or fatigue. Her family supported this change wholeheartedly. Anna often called to share new recipes for fresh egg dishes, and during family gatherings, Lily was encouraged to enjoy eggs freshly prepared rather than reheated. This collective effort made the transition easier and reinforced the loving care that surrounded her. Through this experience, Lily realized that aging well requires paying attention, not just to what we eat, but how we eat it. The quality of preparation and timing matters. Reheating food might seem convenient, but for some items like eggs, it can quietly erode the benefits we seek. By choosing to eat eggs fresh, Lily reclaimed a small but meaningful piece of her health and well-being. This lesson also deepened her respect for the wisdom of her body. The discomfort she felt was a signal, a gentle nudge to make a better choice. Instead of ignoring or pushing through it, Lily listened and adapted. This mindful response became a hallmark of her journey, treating her body with kindness and attention, learning from its messages, and honoring its needs. Eggs, once a straightforward part of her diet, had become a teacher, showing Lily the importance of care, timing, and respect in her food choices. They reminded her that health is not just about what we put on our plates, but how we honor the process of nourishment. This understanding enriched her relationship with food and herself, turning every meal into an opportunity for healing and renewal. Lily's story with eggs invites us all to slow down, to notice the small details, and to approach aging with curiosity and compassion. It shows that even the simplest foods can carry complex messages, and that by listening closely, we can make choices that support vitality, joy, and independence for years to come. For many years, white potatoes had been a comfort food for Lily, a familiar, soft, and satisfying part of meals shared with family and friends. She loved their warmth and versatility, whether mashed, baked, or roasted. These memories were woven into the fabric of her life, evoking family dinners, holiday celebrations, and simple weekend meals filled with laughter. Yet as Lily's journey continued, she came to understand that white potatoes, when reheated, could carry hidden risks that quietly worked against her health. It started one afternoon when Lily reheated a serving of mashed potatoes from the night before. Soon after eating, she felt an unusual heaviness and fatigue, accompanied by a numbness in her feet that made her pause. At first, she thought it was just a sign of tiredness, but as the sensations grew more frequent, she became concerned. She shared her experience with her doctor, who gently explained that white potatoes are high on the glycemic index, meaning they break down quickly into sugars, causing sharp spikes in blood sugar levels. When these potatoes are cooked, cooled, and then reheated, the starches change in ways that can worsen insulin resistance and trigger inflammation. For seniors like Lily, who naturally face reduced sensitivity to blood sugar fluctuations, this process can lead to subtle but serious consequences: increased fatigue after meals, tingling or numbness in the legs and feet, and even chronic inflammation that affects joints and cognitive health. The warming of potato-based dishes, especially with added butter, cream, or oil, intensifies these effects. Lily was surprised to learn that something as ordinary as reheated potatoes could be silently contributing to such discomfort and risk. Moreover, her doctor warned about another hidden danger: the use of plastic containers to reheat potatoes at high heat, which can release harmful chemicals like BPA into the food. These substances may interfere with hormonal balance and cardiovascular health, adding another layer of concern for seniors aiming to protect their well-being. Faced with this knowledge, Lily felt a mixture of nostalgia and caution. She didn't want to give up the comforting memories associated with potatoes, but realized that she needed to adapt her habits for her health's sake. She decided to limit her intake of reheated white potatoes and instead explored alternatives like sweet potatoes and other colorful root vegetables, which offered antioxidants and slower sugar release. This shift wasn't easy at first. The familiar taste and texture of mashed potatoes had long been a source of comfort, a link to her past. But Lily found new joy in discovering recipes that combined the flavors she loved with healthier choices. She experimented with roasting sweet potatoes seasoned with herbs, enjoying the sweetness and softness without the blood sugar spikes. These meals felt nourishing in new ways, fueling her body gently and steadily. Lily also became more mindful about how she stored and reheated food. She avoided plastic containers, opting for glass or ceramic dishes, and warmed leftovers slowly to preserve nutrients and reduce harmful chemical exposure. These small steps, she realized, added up to a significant difference in how she felt after meals and throughout the day. Her family noticed the change too. Anna praised her creativity in the kitchen, and her grandchildren enjoyed the colorful dishes that brightened their plates. The act of sharing these new meals strengthened their bonds, turning healthful choices into joyful family traditions. Through this experience, Lily learned that comfort foods don't have to betray us as we age. They can evolve with us. It's about listening to our bodies, honoring the science behind nutrition, and making thoughtful adjustments that protect our health without sacrificing pleasure. The story of white potatoes became a powerful reminder for Lily that even familiar things deserve fresh attention and care. This awareness also deepened Lily's gratitude for the journey she was on, a journey of learning, adapting, and growing stronger with each choice. She realized that aging well wasn't about holding on to the past, but embracing change with grace and wisdom. By choosing foods that truly supported her vitality, she was investing in a future filled with energy, clarity, and joy. Lily's cautionary tale with reheated white potatoes invites us all to look closer at the foods we rely on and the habits we form. It reminds us that health is a living process, shaped by the daily decisions we make. And it encourages us to find new comforts that nourish not just our bodies, but our hearts and memories as well. After learning about the hidden dangers and benefits of reheated foods, Lily found herself at a new crossroads, a moment of awakening where she had to make deeper decisions about what she allowed back on her plate. It wasn't just about convenience anymore, it was about respect for her body, her future, and the life she wanted to live. This realization marked a turning point in her journey, one that transformed not only her kitchen habits, but also her mindset toward aging and self-care. Sitting quietly in her cozy kitchen one afternoon, Lily looked through her fridge with fresh eyes. Leftovers that once seemed harmless now carried a different weight. She saw dishes she had prepared with love, but understood that not every meal deserved a second chance, at least not without careful thought and proper handling. This moment was both humbling and empowering, a reminder that aging gracefully means making choices that protect her strength and independence. Lily remembered her doctor's words: reheating certain foods can quietly undermine digestion, increase inflammation, and affect organs critical to maintaining energy and balance. It was a subtle danger, often unnoticed, but cumulative and real. The challenge was to honor these truths without feeling overwhelmed or deprived. She wanted to replace fear with knowledge, rigidity with flexibility. So Lily created a new set of kitchen rules, not strict diets, but gentle guidelines rooted in care. Foods like oatmeal, vegetable soup, and brown rice were welcome guests, known to grow stronger with warmth and careful reheating. Mushrooms, eggs, and white potatoes she learned to enjoy fresh or in moderation, avoiding reheating that could harm. This approach felt balanced, sustainable, and filled with compassion. Her family played a vital role in this transition. Anna and her grandchildren embraced the changes enthusiastically, helping Lily shop for fresh ingredients, prepare meals mindfully, and find creative recipes that brought joy alongside nutrition. These moments together weren't just about food, they were acts of love and connection, weaving health into the fabric of family life. Emotionally, Lily found freedom in this mindful eating, no longer weighed down by worries about what if or guilty about past habits. She approached each meal as a choice, a chance to nurture her body and honor her journey. This shift lifted her spirits and renewed her commitment to living fully and authentically, regardless of age. Her daily routine grew richer with intention. Mornings began with warm oatmeal, afternoons with soothing vegetable soup, and dinners with wholesome grains and fresh vegetables. The kitchen, once a place of hurried convenience, became a sanctuary of self-respect. Each meal carried the message, "I care for you, I choose life." These words echoed in her heart and body, fueling resilience and hope. Lily also noticed changes beyond the plate. Her energy stabilized, mood brightened, and her steps felt surer. The fog that sometimes clouded her mind lifted, replaced by clarity and calm. She realized that the power to shape her health lay in these small, consistent decisions. It was not about perfection, but progress, a daily dance of love and attention. This awakening inspired Lily to share her story with friends and community. She spoke openly about the lessons learned, the mistakes made, and the joy found in caring for herself. Her gentle voice encouraged others to listen to their bodies and approach aging with curiosity and kindness. Lily's journey at this crossroads teaches us that the true gift of health is choice, the ability to decide what nurtures us and what holds us back. It reminds us that aging well is a conscious, ongoing process, one that requires both wisdom and grace. And it shows that with mindful care, every meal can be a step toward freedom, vitality, and peace. For many years, eggs had been a staple in Lily's diet, a simple, nourishing food she trusted to fuel her mornings and support her health. She appreciated their versatility and the comforting routine they provided, whether scrambled, boiled, or gently fried. But as Lily's journey into mindful eating deepened, she encountered a surprising revelation about eggs, especially regarding reheating them, that challenged her previous habits and expanded her understanding of how food interacts with her aging body. One evening, after reheating scrambled eggs she had cooked the night before, Lily noticed an unusual heaviness in her stomach. The eggs felt dense and harder to digest, leaving her feeling sluggish and uncomfortable well into the afternoon. This sensation wasn't fleeting but persistent, prompting her to reconsider how she prepared and consumed eggs. She recalled reading expert advice that reheating eggs, particularly in microwaves or on high heat, alters their protein structure, making them more difficult for older digestive systems to process. Additionally, reheating eggs cooked with fats can oxidize cholesterol and oils, potentially contributing to inflammation and arterial damage. These insights gave Lily pause. Eggs, once a reliable source of nourishment, now required a new level of respect and care. She began to prioritize eating eggs fresh, avoiding reheated leftovers. Soft-boiled or poached eggs became her preferred choices, offering gentle yet rich nutrition without the digestive strain reheated eggs could cause. This shift wasn't about eliminating a beloved food, but about adapting her habits to better suit her body's changing needs. The change also brought new culinary adventures. Lily experimented with fresh egg recipes, pairing them with whole grains, fresh herbs, and seasonal vegetables. These meals felt lighter, more satisfying, and left her energized rather than weighed down. Her family noticed the difference, praising her renewed vitality and the delicious meals she prepared. This experience with eggs underscored a broader lesson for Lily. Aging well requires listening carefully to her body's signals and being willing to adjust long-held habits. Food is not static, nor is our relationship to it. What once nourished might need to be approached differently as we grow older. By embracing this fluidity, Lily found empowerment and peace. Her journey taught her that every meal is an opportunity to honor herself, choosing foods and preparation methods that support her health and well-being. The story of eggs became a powerful reminder that mindful eating is as much about how we treat our food as what we put on our plates. Through this mindful approach, Lily deepened her connection to her body and to the wisdom of aging. She learned to cherish the balance between enjoyment and care, tradition and innovation. Eggs, simple yet complex, became a symbol of this balance, a testament to the ongoing dance of health and life. For Lily, white potatoes had always been a source of comfort. Whether mashed, roasted, or baked, they brought back memories of family dinners and holiday gatherings. Their soft texture and mild flavor made them an easy favorite, a staple she turned to again and again. However, as her journey of mindful eating progressed, Lily discovered a hidden side to this beloved food, one that quietly worked against her health when reheated improperly. One afternoon, Lily reheated some mashed potatoes she had prepared earlier in the week. Shortly after eating, she experienced a familiar heaviness, followed by an unexpected tingling sensation in her feet. These sensations weren't alarming at first, but as they recurred, Lily began to pay closer attention. A visit to her doctor confirmed her suspicions. Reheated white potatoes could contribute to blood sugar spikes and inflammation, both of which were particularly concerning for seniors like herself. Her doctor explained that white potatoes are high on the glycemic index, meaning they break down quickly into sugars that cause sharp increases in blood sugar levels. This effect is amplified when potatoes are cooked, cooled, and then reheated, especially if prepared with added fats like butter or cream. For seniors whose bodies already face challenges with insulin sensitivity and inflammation, these fluctuations could lead to fatigue, numbness in the legs and feet, and joint discomfort. Additionally, Lily learned about the dangers of reheating potatoes in plastic containers. High heat can cause harmful chemicals like BPA to leach into the food, posing further risks to hormonal balance and cardiovascular health. This knowledge was unsettling but also empowering. It gave Lily the information she needed to make safer choices. Determined to protect her health without giving up the foods she loved, Lily began exploring alternatives. She discovered sweet potatoes, rich in antioxidants and with a lower glycemic index, as a delicious substitute. Roasted with herbs and a drizzle of olive oil, sweet potatoes provided the comforting texture she craved without the blood sugar spikes. She also adopted new reheating practices, avoiding microwaves for potato dishes and instead warming them gently on the stove or in the oven using glass containers. These simple adjustments helped preserve the nutrients and prevented exposure to harmful chemicals. Family meals became a time of experimentation and discovery. Anna and the grandchildren joined in, eager to try new recipes and flavors. These shared experiences not only nurtured Lily's body but also deepened family bonds, turning mealtime into a joyful celebration of health and togetherness. Through this experience, Lily understood that comfort food doesn't have to betray us as we age. It can evolve with us, adapting to our changing needs and supporting our well-being. Her journey with white potatoes became a powerful lesson in listening to her body, respecting science, and embracing change with grace. This chapter of Lily's story reminds us all that mindful choices, big or small, shape the quality of our lives. By paying attention to how food is prepared and consumed, especially in later years, we can protect our health and enjoy the pleasures of eating without compromise. Lily's cautious but hopeful approach to white potatoes is a testament to the power of knowledge and intention. It shows that aging well is not about sacrifice, but about discovering new ways to thrive, one delicious, nourishing bite at a time. By the time Lily reached this stage in her journey, she had learned that aging well was a continuous process of listening, learning, and adapting. The discoveries about reheated foods, their hidden dangers, and surprising benefits had given her more than just dietary guidance. They had gifted her a renewed sense of agency over her health. No longer a passive observer of aging, Lily was now an active participant, making informed choices that supported her strength and independence. One quiet morning, as she prepared her breakfast of reheated oatmeal sprinkled with fresh blueberries, Lily paused to reflect on how far she'd come. The fears and discomforts that once clouded her days had given way to clarity and hope. Each meal was no longer just fuel, it was a statement of self-respect and care. She realized that the simple act of choosing what to reheat and how had become a powerful tool in her well-being arsenal. This newfound wisdom extended beyond the kitchen. Lily approached her days with a gentle mindfulness that embraced both her body and mind. She noticed how her energy stabilized, her mood lifted, and her steps grew steadier. The little aches and fatigue that had once defined her were now manageable, often replaced by moments of lightness and ease. Her family witnessed this transformation with joy and admiration. Anna often remarked on how Lily's vibrant spirit seemed to shine brighter, and even her grandchildren noticed the renewed vitality in their grandmother's laughter and movements. These affirmations fueled Lily's commitment to her journey, reminding her that health was a gift worth nurturing every day. Lily also became an advocate within her community, sharing her experiences and encouraging others to explore the impact of food choices on aging. Her story resonated with many, offering a hopeful perspective grounded in practical wisdom rather than fear. She emphasized that change didn't require perfection, but intention, a willingness to listen to the body's messages and respond with kindness. In the kitchen, Lily's rituals became acts of celebration. Preparing vegetable soups, gently reheating brown rice, and savoring freshly cooked eggs were moments of connection to herself, to her family, and to the larger cycle of life. Each meal carried the message that aging could be embraced with grace, curiosity, and love. Through these choices, Lily reclaimed not just her meals, but her sense of control and freedom. She learned that the power to shape her health lay within her daily habits, in the small, consistent steps she took toward nourishment and care. This realization brought peace and confidence, allowing her to face each day with hope and resilience. Lily's journey teaches us that reclaiming our health is possible at any age. It reminds us that the wisdom to care for ourselves comes from listening deeply and choosing thoughtfully. And it shows that even the quietest moments, like deciding which leftovers to reheat, can become profound opportunities for healing and growth. As Lily moved further along her journey, she came to understand that true health was built not on grand gestures, but on the small, consistent choices she made every day. The simple decisions about which foods to reheat, how to prepare them, and when to enjoy them became acts of care, each one contributing quietly but powerfully to her well-being. She started to see her daily routine as a series of mindful moments, opportunities to listen to her body and respond with kindness. Waking up to a warm bowl of oatmeal wasn't just about nutrition, it was a way to greet the day with intention and gratitude. Savoring a bowl of vegetable soup in the afternoon offered comfort and healing, nurturing both her joints and her spirit. Choosing to enjoy brown rice, carefully steamed and gently reheated, provided steady energy and peace of mind. Lily's awareness also extended beyond food. She began to pay attention to how she moved, rested, and connected with others. Each habit, whether a gentle stretch or a quiet moment of reflection, was part of a larger tapestry of self-care. She realized that aging was not a battle to be won, but a journey to be embraced with compassion and presence. Her family noticed these changes too. Anna remarked on how Lily's renewed energy and calm presence seemed to ripple through their home. The grandchildren, inspired by their grandmother's stories and meals, started asking more questions about healthy eating and mindful living. These conversations brought new meaning to family gatherings, creating spaces where health and happiness intertwined. Lily's small acts of care also built resilience. She felt stronger in body and mind, better equipped to face the inevitable challenges of aging. The discomforts that once loomed large had less power over her days. Instead, she carried a quiet confidence born from understanding and respect for her body's needs. This shift wasn't always easy. There were moments of doubt, days when old habits tempted her with convenience and familiarity. But Lily met these challenges with patience and kindness, reminding herself that progress was a journey, not a destination. Each mindful choice was a step forward, a reaffirmation of her commitment to living well. Through these daily acts, Lily discovered the profound truth that health is a lifelong conversation between body, mind, and spirit. It's spoken in the language of care, attention, and love, and it's available to everyone willing to listen and respond. Her story invites us to see our own routines as sacred opportunities, to transform ordinary meals, movements, and moments into powerful expressions of self-love. It reminds us that no choice is too small to matter, and that through consistency and intention, we can nurture vitality and joy at every stage of life. Lily's journey is a testament to the impact of mindful living, a gentle, steady path that honors the wisdom of the body and the beauty of aging gracefully. It shows us that the power to shape our health lies in the everyday decisions we make, and that by embracing these with heart and awareness, we can create lives rich in strength, peace, and happiness. Throughout her journey, Lily discovered that food was about far more than just nutrients and digestion. It was deeply tied to her emotions, memories, and sense of self. Each meal carried stories from her past, family gatherings, childhood celebrations, and moments of comfort shared around the table. As she learned to reframe her eating habits, she also reconnected with these emotional threads, finding new meaning and joy in the rituals of cooking and sharing food. One evening, as Lily prepared a simple vegetable soup, the familiar smells brought back memories of her mother's kitchen, a place filled with warmth, laughter, and love. The act of chopping fresh vegetables, simmering the broth slowly, and stirring the pot felt like a meditation, a way to honor those cherished moments. It wasn't just about the physical nourishment the soup provided, but the emotional comfort it wrapped around her heart. This connection became a source of strength for Lily. On days when fatigue or discomfort threatened to dampen her spirit, the memory of family meals and the love infused in her cooking uplifted her. She realized that food, when prepared and eaten with intention, could heal not only the body but also the soul. This emotional nourishment was a vital part of her well-being, reminding her that aging gracefully included caring for her feelings as much as her physical health. Lily shared these experiences with her daughter Anna, who appreciated how deeply her mother embraced this holistic approach. Together, they began creating new family traditions that honored both health and heritage, recipes adapted for better digestion, meals enjoyed slowly and mindfully, and conversations that celebrated life's richness at every age. These moments strengthened their bond and created a legacy of care that spanned generations. The emotional aspect of food also helped Lily accept the changes aging brought. Instead of fearing loss or decline, she embraced the present with gratitude and openness. She found joy in small pleasures, a favorite flavor, a shared laugh over a meal, the simple ritual of warming a bowl of soup on a cold day. These experiences became anchors of resilience, grounding her in love and connection. This deepened relationship with food taught Lily that health is not just about what we eat, but how we feel about it. Nourishment is a full experience encompassing body, mind, and heart. By honoring this truth, she cultivated a richer, more fulfilling life that celebrated her journey rather than lamenting its challenges. Lily's story encourages us to view our meals as opportunities for emotional healing and connection. It invites us to slow down, savor the moments, and recognize the love woven into every bite. In doing so, we not only support our physical health, but also nurture the soul, creating a foundation of well-being that sustains us through the years. As Lily's journey unfolded, she came to understand that the small changes she made in her kitchen and diet were not merely practical adjustments. They were the beginnings of a deeper transformation. What once had been a routine of convenience evolved into a ritual of care and intention, shaping how she lived, loved, and aged with grace. Each morning, Lily's preparation of oatmeal became a deliberate act of kindness toward herself. She no longer rushed through breakfast, but savored each spoonful, mindful of the nourishment it provided and the warmth it brought to her body and spirit. This ritual grounded her day, setting a tone of respect and presence that extended beyond the kitchen. Afternoons spent warming vegetable soup were no longer just about filling an empty stomach. They became moments of pause and reflection, a chance to connect with memories, gratitude, and the healing power of food. Lily learned that these rituals nurtured not just her body but her emotional well-being, offering comfort in times of fatigue or uncertainty. Even the simple act of reheating brown rice took on new meaning. With care and attention, Lily transformed this humble grain into a foundation of strength, a reminder that health is built gradually through consistent, loving choices. These rituals became symbols of her commitment to living fully and authentically, embracing the changes that aging brought. Her family noticed this shift as well. Gatherings around the table felt more connected and joyful, infused with an appreciation for the care woven into each meal. Anna often remarked how her mother's mindful approach inspired her own choices, creating a ripple effect of health and presence throughout their home. Lily's journey taught her that aging is not a decline to fear, but a chapter to embrace. By turning routine into ritual, she found a way to honor her body, mind, and heart, cultivating resilience and joy with every mindful act. This approach brought peace, a sense of control, and a deep appreciation for the richness of life at every stage. Through this transformation, Lily invites us all to reimagine our relationship with food and aging. She shows us that by embracing rituals of care, no matter how small, we can create lives filled with vitality, meaning, and grace. Her story is a gentle reminder that the way we nourish ourselves shapes not only our bodies, but the very quality of our days. As Lily's journey neared this important milestone, she reflected on everything she had learned and how much her life had changed. From the subtle discomforts that once weighed her down to the mindful rituals that now energized her, every step had been a lesson in patience, love, and courage. Aging was no longer a source of fear or frustration, but a chapter rich with wisdom and opportunity. Lily understood that the choices she made, what to eat, how to prepare food, and how to listen to her body, were powerful tools that shaped her health and happiness. The simple act of deciding which foods to reheat, which to enjoy fresh, and how to warm her meals gently became daily affirmations of care. Each meal was a chance to protect her heart, soothe her joints, and clear her mind. She often thought about the many seniors who might not yet know these truths, those quietly struggling with fatigue, discomfort, or uncertainty about how to care for themselves. Lily wished for them to hear her message, that it's never too late to start and that small, consistent changes can lead to profound improvements. Aging well is a journey, not a destination, and each thoughtful choice brings us closer to living fully and joyfully. Lily's family remained a vital source of support and inspiration. They celebrated her victories, shared meals crafted with love, and embraced the lessons she brought into their lives. Together, they forged a path of health and connection, proving that care transcends generations. In sharing her story, Lily hoped to inspire others to pay attention to the quiet signals their bodies send and to approach aging with curiosity rather than resignation. She wanted everyone to know that nurturing oneself is an act of strength and dignity. By embracing the wisdom found in simple habits like mindful reheating and honoring the body's needs, we can create a foundation for longevity, vitality, and peace. Her journey taught her that aging gracefully is about more than avoiding illness. It's about embracing life with intention, kindness, and hope. It's about transforming everyday actions into rituals of love and resilience. It's about choosing health, not just as a goal, but as a way of being. Lily's message is clear and heartfelt. Care for yourself gently, listen deeply, and choose wisely. In doing so, you honor not only your body, but the fullness of your life. And no matter your age, every bite you take is a step toward a future filled with strength, clarity, and joy. As she looked toward the days ahead, Lily felt a deep sense of gratitude for the lessons learned, the support received, and the love that surrounded her. For the journey itself, a beautiful, unfolding story of wisdom and choice. Lily's journey is a heartfelt reminder that aging gracefully is not about avoiding change, but embracing it with wisdom and kindness. From the subtle discomforts that first signaled a need for awareness, to the mindful choices that transformed her daily meals into rituals of care, she discovered the quiet power of nourishment and intention. With each warm bowl of oatmeal, each gently reheated vegetable soup, and every thoughtful meal prepared with love, Lily reclaimed her strength, clarity, and joy. Along the way, she learned to listen deeply to her body's signals, adapting her habits with patience and compassion. The simple act of choosing what and how to reheat became a profound expression of self-respect, supporting her heart, mind, and independence. Through this gentle transformation, Lily found not only improved health, but a renewed sense of hope and connection to herself, her family, and life itself. If you find yourself facing similar challenges or simply wish to honor your body with greater care, remember Lily's story. It's never too late to start small, listen closely, and choose wisely. Each mindful step is a powerful act of love that can shape your journey toward vitality and peace. Embrace your path with courage and let every meal be a celebration of your strength and resilience, because the way you nourish yourself today is the foundation for the vibrant tomorrow you deserve.